Hello, my name is Gerry Fialka. Today is Christmas Day 2018. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here with my wife, Suzy Williams, in our home.
Yes, our home. Hello, Jerry's hand.
Suzy, these are questions that are providing footage for my new film, The Mother Side of the Wake. When you recall your mother, what do you think of first? How does it make you feel?
Feel? Crazy. Love for mother. Love for the most beautiful, glamorous maternal person. I mean, I think of my mother in her earliest photographs when I was a little baby. My first thought is mom at her most beautiful, which is when I, was an infant. She had an hourglass figure and she looked like Elizabeth Taylor.
So how does that make
you?
She
knew how to pose. She knew how to strike a pose too. She was very. She really wielded herself well, but she had a wonderful modesty at the same time.
What do you think of when you visualize your mother in your mind's eye at that period? How does it make you feel to visualize your mother then?
Feel? Like I said, didn't you just ask me that? No, I mean, I feel profound love for that potential person that she was always potentially that glamour love person. She had a life of mental illness that followed that was terribly tragic, and a lot of her tragedy had to do with the fact that she had so much potential. She was a wonderful artist. She played the piano beautifully. She sang with this light soprano that was sweet and so listenable. And she ended up being a poet as well at the end of her life. So very talented person. And that potential is what I always think of when I first think of Mom. Of course, we're very complicated, and sometimes I think of the most horrible moment, but that's my first.
When what about your mother most reflects you? What did you mainly get from your mom?
Passion. My mom was passionate. I feel my mother coming through all the time, and I love what I feel. Rarely do I go, oh, there's a negative that I'm getting from Mom. I almost always feel a positive from her, even though so much of her life was, spent in mental illness houses, and she was in horrible places, and her mind was not right. What was the question?
But she made the most of, just stay on that for a second, because we experienced it. She made the most of being in these horrible places, because we were there when she taught yoga to all these people who were half comatose.
She definitely made the most.
She made it a love affair, and even if they could just wiggle their finger.
Yeah, Jerry, and remember, she wore us out. We were sore the next day when we took her class.
And
it was cool.
And most of the people were sitting there just in their chair, wiggling their toe a little or moving their hand a little. But she really prepped you for the sensibility of what it is to run a yoga class, because it's all about the wording and the attitude. I never
even thought of that, but
the wording and the attitude.
She was spiritual too. That's another aspect of her. She was definitely a seeker of God. She was definitely looking for the big G, the big goddess thing. She was always, even sometimes in the depths of her madness, she was still thinking about God sometimes.
The question is, what did you mainly get from your mother?
Well, I got singing. I got the desire to sing, and later in life, I started out imitating Bessie Smith, but later in life, I ended up imitating my mother, and that's a much better voice. I mean, doing Bessie and Sophie Tucker's all very well and good, but my mom's voice was the real rockin' voice. It was the jazz voice. It was the lighter voice. It was the more intimate voice. That's my best voice, and that's her.
And you could talk about hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Is that the muse for your mom because she was scorned as a woman, that's where it came? Or
well, I think she had a songbook called 40 Torchy Hits, and Mom was dramatic, and she was, pain to the depths that Dad was having an affair, and she had to leave him, and now she had to live up and away from him, and so she could sing about it endlessly on the piano, never boring her children with her singing and playing. So torch hits, she sang two careless lips, so easy to possess, all these big, the heel, and all these big Sturm und Drang torch songs. She sang those all the time. Hell hath no fury. Yeah, she was mad. She loved to work herself up.
Well, even for your sake, the muse in music, what is the muse? Are you singing to a muse, or is the muse the impetus behind your passion in music?
Oh, the muse is the one that gets you to do the work.
Is that a person, or is that an emotion?
The muse goes, hey, I got a song idea. Or, hey, you have a song idea, get to work,
But are you anthropomorphizing the muse, or is that some emotion inside humans?
Am I anthropomorphizing?
Like, is the muse some...
No, I don't do that.
It's just some emotion.
No, I love to refer to the muse all the time, but I don't actually think about a muse at all.
But your mom, I'm trying to get to the roots of your mom's muse. Was it solely the being scorned, or was there more to it?
No, she's just talented. Mom was talented, and she had a lovely drive to exercise her talent, both painting and singing. And doing her poetry.
And B.B. King sang, "Nobody loves me but my mother, and she could be jiving me too." Tell me a time when your mother jived you.
Okay, well...
Hold on. I got to do something.
Okay.
There's something weird here happening.
Can I see how the picture looks?
It's really good. Go back. It's go. Okay, so sorry. That's an edit, Bruno. Okay. Nobody loves me but my mother.
Back.
It is. It is. Nobody loves me but my mother. And there's something. Nobody loves me but my mother, and she may be jiving me too. Tell me a time when your mother jived you.
Oh, well, Mom, this is a little story. Mom, my little sister Annie, I had a pet guinea pig. God, I can't remember the name of the guinea pig. But I love that guinea pig. They're cute, right? They have funny little jowly faces. I love my guinea pig a lot. And my little sister, innocently zipped up the guinea pig in a lunchbox that zipped. It was a sort of plastic lunchbox. It was sort of probably really cutting edge lunchbox at the time. I much prefer the tin myself. Anyway, and killed the guinea pig. And Mom found it and, I guess buried the guinea pig. And then I was like, I can't find, Woo-Woo, the guinea pig, And Mom goes, well, I think he ran away.
And I said, oh, he ran away? And so I went out and called for the guinea pig. Not only did I call like that day many times, but then I continued to call for the guinea pig. I would go running out to the side, and I just called forlornly, after looking for him in the yard, under the house, and over by the horses, where's my guinea pig? Where's my guinea pig? Eventually my mom said, oh God, I can't stand it. Honey, your guinea pig isn't with us anymore. She got zipped into a lunchbox. Mother, you jived me. You lied to me. How could you? And I was like I just really got to take the high road right there, putting her down, when in fact she was just trying to protect me, so that she jived me. She lied to me, but it was for a good reason.
Suzy, are you happy? Do you more pursue happiness or more pursue meaning?
I think pursuing meaning is a deeper thing, and I am a happy person. I've always been an optimist, but pursuing meaning, I think that would be definitely a bigger and more important thing to do, because happiness is for you, kind of. Well, happiness for all. You want to pursue happiness for everybody. You want to help the world be a better place. You want to stop climate change. I suppose that's happiness, having a happy planet. Right now, the planet is very happy. The cactuses are, the yucca tree are blowing in the wind. It's beautiful. Just beautiful on Christmas.
They say that happiness ends and meaning persists, so that's why the question I formed was that
it's a bigger thing.
Yeah.
Meaning's bigger.
Yeah.
Because happiness is
it sweeps through you, and you can hold on to it, and you can be basically happy, and everybody knows this, however. Yes, go on, Gerald.
Why are women more concerned about turning into their mothers than men are? When I turned 50, my female peer group were fretting becoming their mothers. My male peer group was not, even though the males are raised more by their mothers than their dads. So why do women more fret becoming their mothers?
I think some women do. A lot of women do. I do not. I do not fret about becoming like my mother, because if anything, I want to be like her. I want to emulate the ideal mother of Barbara Artie. That person. And I don't feel that in my life I've had any inclination to get mentally ill and overweight and throw my health out the window like Mom did. I have no fear of that. I'm just not going to do that. But
that's you personally.
Why do women worry about being their mother or their father?
Why do women, not you aside, why did I find more of my 50-year-old female peer group women fret becoming their mothers? I'm not talking about you now. Now I'm asking you, why do you think women fret becoming their mothers and men don't?
Well, they start seeing, the same double chin. They start seeing the same type of female hair loss or whatever it is. A lot of times, or they'll see themselves be cranky like their mother, and they'll hear their same tone of voice and go, yikes! That's the negative part of my mother, And I oh my God, that's horrible, but, that's them. That's not me.
Frank Zappa had an anti-drug commercial. Don't do speed, it'll turn you into your parents. Do we become our parents? Is it more nature or more nurture? Do we really have a choice, or we really become our parents?
Well, that's why you have to really, pat any orphan adopted person on the back a little bit extra. Maybe they wouldn't even need it, but because a lot of people get adopted by wonderful people, but it is nice to know, your blood parents and see how their gestures, how you echo their gestures, or it's great to have siblings
to watch them echo your parents, to watch those little subtle bloodline passages happen.
It's fun. It's fun to watch. It's just entertaining.
I'm talking about the mannerisms.
Yeah, but so you think overall personality, mannerisms, physical makeup, emotional makeup is more genetic, or is it more?
I think genetic more than nurture, even because, I think I'm genetically inclined. I'm to be
an optimist, and I think that I think I'd be an optimist even if I think I'm an Anne Frank type, in other words. I think that I can be shoved through all kinds of crap and still be an optimist. So I think I'm born with that. I don't think I have a lot to do with that. I think I'm born with it. I do push myself in that direction, but I'm born to push myself in that direction.
What's the most significant difference between women and men, physical aside?
Oh God, as a woman, I understand men. I feel like
I know what it's like to be kicked in the balls.
I just understand men.
I feel like my point of view is a little
different from a lot of women. I think that women and men want to care for each other in different ways. I think women more like, God, it's hard. There's so many exceptions to what I'm about to say. That I actually think that the Me Too movement and all the women's lib is bringing the differences to be less and less. I was going to say something like, well, men like to be left alone more, and women more clingy. Women want more affection than men. Oh my God, I know so many men who want so much affection. And I love affection, but you know what I mean. I don't think that. Making generalizations about the sexes is just getting crazier and crazier. It was a lot easier in the 50s because the lines were drawn very clearly. And now everybody wants to erase the lines. I personally love, the pointy bras and those cinched waists and the big skirts and the guy with the big shoulder pads and the fedora hat. I just love it when I loved it when, and then you can take your clothes off then you can change clothes at night, switch clothes, when no one's looking. But I just think playing with extreme gender stuff is at its best a lot of fun, and at its worst it's war and horror. And people in a box, and women lonely, and lonely housewives, and boozing, carousing husbands. That's the downside of 50s morality. But the upside was all the fun. Those big masculine cars with the fins. Oh, I love all that stuff. That's me. That makes me very happy. And I think that's all tied up with my mom. My mom's glamour. And my dad's glamour. My dad was so handsome. I think that's a reason why I'm sort of in love with the 50s, where I came from, born in 53. This time of ultimate style. America was really calling the shots in terms of style, and Europe was just following suit, with Marilyn Monroe and the car fins and everything. But my mom and dad were so, even though they were more, my dad ends up being a big, lefty, sort of, I don't know, not a hippie because he was before the hippies, and he never got to really be a beat. But anyway, they ended up being real bohemian types. But even so, they were living in this glamorous era of the 50s, which I think they did a very good job of living there then. I think they fit right in or something. Or not.
Why do women live longer than men?
Because of pure genetics, because they have to go through childbirth. And it's that simple. It's just, I mean, if you can get through childbirth, you can get through life longer. That's it. Boom. Next question.
What caused matriarchy? That is the rule by women in charge, women running things. And it's said that there were cultures way back where the goddess culture, the women ran the culture.
Yeah, and probably better.
What caused matriarchy?
Maybe the guys were busy hunting, and the girls got to gather the families and the collectively, and the guys would come home and the gals go, hey, guess what? This is what we're going to have for dinner, and this is where we're going to have the next council meeting, and this is our leader is this woman, and hey guys, thanks for the board. That was delicious. Mwah, I love you, baby. Come over here. Let's go in the cave. I mean, I think that wouldn't that be nice? I don't know. I don't know if the guys want to go hunting boar all the time anymore.
What's the most important question in life?
Important question. Oh, Lord. Let's see. Oh, I think just, if you can find, let's see, what's the important question? Can I find a way to creatively live this life that I'm given? Can I find my art? Can I find out who I am? Can I make myself happy with my tools that I'm given, my mind, and I myself got really lucky. I found something, but I see people who haven't found the creative outlet for themselves, and they are lost, and they are so unhappy, I think a lot of right-wingers, they're sort of placated, but I don't think they're happy. That's my opinion. They might disagree. Because maybe, who knows, maybe all they really want is a yacht. And that is really what they want. I think, just like you're saying, Gerry, Frank Zappa says nothing is what I want. I think, yeah, I want nothing except my new shirt from Jenny and my new pajamas. And I want to write songs. I want to come out with another fucking beautiful melody again. I want to write some words that knock me out. That's what I want.
What's the most important activity in life?
Creativity, doing something, doing art. I mean, it's fun to make love, but I think it's more fun to. Isn't this terrible? Isn't that terrible of telling your husband this? But I think it's more fun to create, like this. This is your art, interviewing. So I'm doing your art, and I'm interacting with your art, and I think this is a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
I wish I was a little cleverer today.
You're doing great.
But
what's an important question that you asked your mother?
Mother, Mommy, why do we eat cows? That's the famous story. I go to my mom. This is family story. I go to my mom. The friendly cow, all red and white, I love with all my heart. She gives me cream with all her might to eat with apple tart. Mommy, why do we eat cows? Really? I mean, honestly, carnivorism is just so weird. But so is sex. Sex is weird. It's great, but it's weird. So is eating a hamburger. That is really weird. I got hysterical when I used to work in the restaurant at Elephant Castle, and I had to make hamburger patties. You know, from big, you know, and one day I just lost it, and I got hysterical. I started laughing and crying, you know, just making these weird round ball, you know, that's the way that my boss liked to, you know, of these hamburgers. And I just, you know, I realized what I was doing. I was dipping my hand in, oh my God, and I started crying and laughing, and I went, you know, a little shade of my mother there. Ha ha ha.
What was your mom's response? Why do we eat cows?
Oh, she just thought it was the cutest thing. She remembered it always. And like, you know, she remembered things like I said, well, she remembers what we said. One of us said, last bite in the pool is a rotten egg. So one of us girls said, but I want to be the rotten egg. You know, it's just, Mom remembers the cute little things that her kids say, you know. That's one of the wonderful things she did.
Tell me a memorable fairy tale, lullaby, or song that your mom shared with you.
Oh, Lord. Oh, I will just say, Mom and I wrote a song. Here it goes. Oh, Mr. Milkman, send me some moo. If it's the last thing that you ever do, send us some milk from your cow called Bessie, and it'll make me feel real impressive. Mr. Milkman, send us some cream, and if you don't, I think I will scream. So come on, turn on your magic stream. Squirt! Mr. Milkman, send me some cream. Yeah. That's Mom. That's Mom.
So you wrote that
she was
together.
Funny. Yeah, I think she mostly wrote it. I was really pretty young, but I might have helped a little.
What's another song that she sang to you that's just memorable, that really stands out?
Well, all of her famous torch songs at the piano.
Yeah.
I mean, did she go good night and sleep tight? No, I don't remember any of that kind of thing. Although I'll tell you, no interview of Suzy about Barbara would be complete without me talking about the love affair that we had when I was a baby and she was a beautiful young woman. That was a great love affair because she loved me and I loved her, and it was a great love affair.
How'd you show it? By staring in each other's eyes or hugging or?
Well, you know the story. Bob Lucas, our friend, wrote a song called Baby, and the baby is getting a bath in the song. It's a great song. Look it up. And the mom, the reference in the song is when the mother is washing the baby's back. I seem to have a visceral memory of my mom giving me a bath, and the love of my mother giving me a bath. You know, I just remember it. I remember her touching me. You know, and she loved me. And I was this little creature, this little vulnerable ball of sensory, a ball of sensoriness. And see if I was, interview me on another day, I'll have that wittier.
Protoplasm.
Protoplasm. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, yeah, you know, I really basked in her love. You know, let's, can I show this picture of Mom, of me? This is Williamson, I don't know. Can you go up there?
Yeah, I'll get it at the end.
Okay.
We'll
Anyway.
do a cut in. Okay, just a couple more. Suzy, thank you. This has been delightful.
Thank you. Well, I think this is the first time you've ever interviewed me. You've never interviewed me before.
As a mother, tell me what happened to you raising your child that made an impact on you. This applies to stepmothers, house dads, and even you as an auntie. In the role of being a mother, what happened to you being a mother? Say, we took Hannah.
Well, I got pregnant, and I was going to be a mother once.
Okay.
With Bill Burnett. And I stopped drinking like that. I stopped smoking and drinking, and I stopped eating, unorganic. And back then, they had organic food back in the 80s when I got pregnant. And I wanted that baby. And my body wanted that baby. And boy, was I in a mother mode. And I started fixing up the room. And I was only 2 months pregnant when I had a miscarriage. But man, was I going to be a swinging mother. I mean, I was going to be a fighting mother. I was going to make the public schools kowtow and be a better public school, because I've always been against private schools. What you do is you don't go make private schools for your privileged child. You make the existing schools beautiful for everybody. You don't just, that is not right. That I feel very strongly about that. And I was going to fight for public schools, and that was back then. As private schools were in such trouble as they are now. They're in complete trouble. Charters are taken over, and it's just horrible. And but yeah, that's what the mother in me, my mother in me, that I got in touch with for 2 months, she was very protective. She was gonna change the world for her child. That's what she was gonna do.
Suzy, the flip of that almost is your song Suicide Tree, where you sort of propagate the idea that we're having too many kids and we should be more responsible with having babies. Absolutely.
I mean, that's my pet peeve, is overpopulation. So I think that, I have no judgment against any individual who has more than one kid. I do not have a judgment, but as a rule, we are stupid to have kids. I mean, if you have a kid, you should really want that kid. You want that kid bad. And if you want more than one kid, if you want 2 kids, you better really want that second kid for the morality for the world, And, we are not paying attention. We are not making sure people have birth control. We are so dumb. Talk about carbon footprint. A great way to make your carbon footprint very small? Don't have a fucking kid. Or beget a environmentalist, which it seems a lot of young hip kids are environmentalists.
Yeah.
But that's just, it's a priority to slow down the population.
Yeah. And Suzy, the theme of MoSide, Mother Side of the Wake, is, do we detect consciousness or do we create consciousness? So do we give birth to consciousness as humans? Or is it consciousness there and we're just detecting it?
Yeah, you can't help but have your own consciousness. So, is it there and you're tapping in? Sort of. You can't deny the oneness of everything. I mean, because all the wisest people in the world, Hafiz and Alan Watts, and every brilliant spiritual leader will tell you that. But that everything is one. So consciousness is one big ball. So you're tapping in, but also you're given your own, which is really a trip, And then you get interviewed by your husband, and that's really a trip.
So in closing, I'm really fond of a Alice Walker quote.
Can you back up a little?
Yeah, I'm really fond of an Alice Walker quote.
Yeah.
It goes, "Yes,
She's
Mother."
a great cook.
Huh?
Great cook, right?
Alice Walker's author, I believe.
No, Jerry, I think she's the cook. She's the gal who started the
Okay.
the restaurant in Berkeley.
Okay. Well, we'll look it up. I'm not positive. Yes, Mother, I can see you are flawed. You have not hidden it. That is your greatest gift to me. How do you process that quote?
Well, I don't know. My story's a little different. Yeah, Mom was she flawed? Oi, flawed. So flawed. And but it was like this flaw that it was just like this little rattling thing that went, this little screw that was loose that was banging around in her head, and if the screw hadn't been loose, she would have had such a beautiful life. But unfortunately she had this flaw, which was extreme mental illness. And so yeah, did she show me her flaws and that's why I love her? No. Her flaw was the saddest accident that God ever did. You know, he didn't mean to do it, but he took something perfect and, you know, he didn't mean to do it though. He's flawed himself. Love you.
But in essence, another interpretation or view could be that your mom laid her cards on the table. She says, "This is me. This is who I am." And
crazy? You mean the crazy?
Well, not just that, but I mean,
to me, the flaw is the crazy.
Right. But I'm saying her flaws. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to subtract that genetic mental flaw away.
I don't think you can subtract that.
Yeah.
I mean, poor Mom. I mean, I mean,
that was genetic, you think, that she got that?
Yeah, but there's not a big history of, there's alcoholics like crazy on her side of the family, but not mental illness. Maybe a couple of uncles were a little wacko, but it was more like they were alcoholics.
But maybe in laying it on the table, "This is who I am," she taught you that's what you do in life. You lay your flaws on the table. You don't hide them.
I don't know. I just can't relate to that whole... That's her thing. That's Alice's thing. That's not my thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, I can think of annoying mothers, you know, and kids just go ahead and love their annoying mother anyway, and that's a beautiful thing. I mean, that's what Alice is saying. She's saying, "Mom, I love you." I think that's what she's really saying. I don't know about you. You laid your flaws on the table, and I love you for it. That's nice of her to say. But I think what she's really saying, just like the song that Louis Armstrong says, what she's really saying is, "I love you."
Yeah.
You know, what's the song? I'll see streets of green.
You mean Wonderful...
Oh, What a Wonderful World, yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Ah.
Okay?
Okay, I love you, Suzy.
Okay. Hey, Jerry's hand. Merry Christmas, Jerry.
That was really good. Okay, we'll just insert that shot really quick. And you got another picture of your mom in there? Oh, that's not you. That's not your mom. That's you. That's okay. That's a hard shot too. Okay. Suzy MoSide 1.
Come in, Jerry.
Hello.
Hello. Well.
Can you see the whites of my eyes?
Oh, I can see a little. Y'all, look, isn't that charming?
I'm looking up to my mother.
Yes.
Oh, Dolores Fialka, I love you.
Yes, this is the mother's side of the wake after all. What's that sound I hear?
Well,
What? Are you going to shave? Are you going to shave for me, Gerry? Wow. Wow. How long have you been growing this? Ooh, you got sideys. Ooh, wild. Wow.
okay, first question.
Gerald, when you recall your mother, how do you feel?
I generally feel really touched and moved when I recall my mother. It's usually Sunday mornings, and I'm listening to big band swing musics and American standards on a radio show. And that music reminds me of us singing, "Every little breeze used to whisper Louise," and singing songs together. And it's a fond memory because she, for being out here in Venice, California for 30 years, we would talk often on Sunday mornings on the phone. So it was a nice memory. She'd go, "Al, get on the line and say hello to your son." But it was my mom and me.
Put the thing on the thing.
Put the thing on the thing. It was my mom and me spending time talking about the psychologies of life. That's really, we spent a lot of time watching the Mike Douglas show together and hearing people talk about life. And we shared that. And then when I think of her at the end of her life, she couldn't talk that last day or two, and she just looked at me, and we just exchanged this eye contact that is burned in my head forever.
Wow.
Just like, whew.
And then
knowing she couldn't talk, I might have said, "I love you, Mom," but it didn't matter. At that point, it was all eye contact.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, now you, what most about you most reflects your mother?
Let me shave a little.
Okay. Don't miss a spot.
Well, my mother, Dolores Lefanowitz, then she married my dad. This story is amazing. It's 1922. Al was born. 17 years later, 1939, he's 17. The same year Finnegan's Wake came out, which I was destined to study. He looks at her across a gymnasium at a dance party, says to his friend, "There's the woman I'm going to marry." Doesn't know her yet. Then I pop out from her in 53, and she names me after the patron saint of mothers, presaging my love for the mothers of invention.
Ha ha ha.
So it's all connected in a time-space continuum. The mother's side of the wake is forever a Mobius strip, two Mobius strips, conceptual continuity and complex clairvoyance, forever.
Infinity.
Infinity.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. That's the goddess culture is infinity.
Mm-hmm.
The female is the time, and female is perception. And so what I got from my mom was her love and concern for other people, and that can be translated into worry to some people. So there's a fine line between concern and worry. Well, if you worry too much, it will harm you. Well, if you're concerned too much, is that good or bad? So where do you find that, navigate that in-betweenness, that gray area? So I thought my line at her wake service was very astute. I said, there's a lot of people in this room who were worried that Dolores worried too much.
Right. Want to shave a little more?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, well, it's definitely not going to be a Fu Manchu. I can tell that. I like the side moons, though. Pretty slick. This is such a masculine thing to do, shave. I used to love to watch my grandfather shave. And my father.
Yeah, well, here's the fun thing, too. Can you get it so you don't see?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
No.
Now you, there's your beard. You got some, yeah. Whoa, you're half and half. Oh my Lord.
Like this.
Oh, that's so silly. Ow, ow. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, putting it back on now. Putting your beard back on.
I'm tearing it off. Okay. Okay.
All right, now, B.B. King sang, "Nobody loves me but my mother, and she could be jiving me too." I want you to discuss a time when your mother jived you, Gerry.
Oh,
Did
God.
she? Did she ever?
I think white lies, lying, is a skill, and it's really back to concern about other people. Everyone holds back information because they want to not hurt someone's feelings or protect them. So there's a lot of fine lines in there. There's a recent Wall Street Journal article that says how to teach your children to lie well. Now, we don't want our children to lie, but we want them to know what it is to be respectful towards other people. Now, if someone serves you some food and it tastes horrible, do you just go, "This is horrible," or you go, "Okay, I'll pass. I'm not going to eat anymore. That was, yeah, I enjoyed eating.
Thank you.
Thank you." You know, you can say things politely, which could be considered lying. So I felt there was a moment in the 60s where we were at our lake. We had a little cottage by a lake, and we got to paint a peace sign on the raft. And we were civil rights activists. We were anti-war activists. And my parents weren't really saying, "Don't do that." They were saying, "Think for yourself." Yes, all people should have equal.
A buzz.
Buzz started? Okay.
I hear a buzz.
Good. I'm very glad you.
Just started.
Okay.
Just about. They didn't have trouble with it.
Still
Hear
buzz?
that? Hear that?
It's still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stopped.
Gone?
Yeah, gone.
Okay. Ready? Framed in?
Well, you have to put your head up again.
Going?
Yeah, now you're a little shifted, but...
Which way do you want me to go?
That way.
This way?
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay. So we were concerned about the rights of all people. And in fact, an amazing thing about my dad was he would babysit my sister's children so they could go to an anti-war march, and he fought in World War II.
Right.
So my mom knew that
Decorated. Purple Heart.
Purple Heart. My mom knew that I had black friends being raised in Flint, Michigan in the 50s and early 60s, that I had black friends.
Mm-hmm.
I went to school in the inner city, St. Michael's Catholic High School in Flint, Michigan. And we would bring our friends out to the lake sometime. One time I brought one of my black friends out to the lake, and my mom was like, you know, Gerry, that concerns me because the neighbors will see that we have black people out there. Now, was that racist? I would say that was like jiving me. Mom, you're jiving me. You're teaching me that all people are equal, but your concern is going maybe a little too far. Like what? So was she being racist? I never considered her being racist, but I figured she was trying to suss out her feelings.
So what did you do? I mean, did you turn around and go back?
I forgot how it resolved. Maybe I did. We went anyways, and I says, no neighbor saw us. It was okay. Or Mom, I don't agree with you. It was okay.
I hope for
have
the
no
latter.
idea.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
But I think there's other times she jived me.
Did she surprise you at that time?
Oh, yeah. It was sort of like your dad.
Shocked.
Yeah, your dad doing that thing with the blacks thing once to you. And it's just the time.
The opposite, where he hit me because I
Right,
said, look,
the
Daddy.
opposite. Right.
Yeah.
So I would say there were other times that she jived me, but I can't recall one. So that's sort of a not a really specific. Okay, let's do a little more shaving. Do they look equal?
You mean the sideys?
Yeah.
You can make the new one a little shorter and sharper.
This one?
Yeah. Yeah.
More?
Yeah. I think that's, yeah. That's good.
Hmm?
I think that's good.
Okay, next question.
Gerry, are you happy?
Oh, God, am I happy.
You are?
Yeah. And I definitely pursue meaning more than happiness, but I think being happy is all about raised with the positive point of view. One friend called me a Pollyanna. You know, I understand that pain and defect and falling is all part of life, but in general, it's called, isn't it Dale Carnegie or Norman Peale's? How's that go?
Norman Vincent Peale.
Yeah, what's it?
He was Power of Positive Thinking.
Power of Positive Thinking. Thank you. I'll never forget that. Power of Positive Thinking. It's like, what? Why? Like Frank Zappa says, when it's you against the world, vote for the world. If you succeed, then you get a bonus.
That's
but I'm
right.
like, why even consider failing and having negativeness when it's going to come anyways. Why not manifest positiveness?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Well, in general, do you think you are becoming your parents, your mother specifically?
Yeah, because I'm more raised by my mother. Her genetic makeup, because I came out of her body, I think is more dominant. I'm milking her milk. My dad helped create me with his act of them making love, and I came out. So you would think the genetics is pretty equal. But I would say nature nurture is dominant with my mom, and I think there's lots
and you, it seems like you're saying that for everybody, that everybody is a little more, there's a little,
well, not necessarily
a few more fractions
Yeah.
mother than father in everybody, according to your theory.
I think so, because most people are raised more by their mother than their father. If the kid just came out and the mom died and the dad raised the kid for all his life and had surrogate moms or aunts or grandmothers helping, the dad would still not have as much genetic input, I don't think. I mean, it's not dominant, but I don't think you become your parents as much as you either become them or become the opposite of them. So I try to have a more mellow, slack-free life than worrying. But then again, it's like, I'm worrying that I don't worry so much.
So would you say that's the main aspect that you picked up from her?
I'd say
propensity towards worrying? Concern
for other people, and concern for what's happening, and concern for understanding. I would say me being inquiring, asking questions is from both my mom and my dad, but it's because we're reaching out to try to understand the mother's side of the wake.
Whoa! Whoa!
Because the wake, it's an amazing thing. The wake is a word that means wake up. It means wake, you've died. We're going to have a service for your death. The opposite of waking up.
Yeah.
And then the wake
I think that's probably the reason why it's called the wake. Awake is it's a reference to waking up.
It's a reference to waking.
That's where the word came from.
It flips both ways.
They did that on purpose.
Etymology has like 5 versions of where the word wake came from. It goes wake noun 1, wake noun 2, wake noun 3, wake verb 1. There's like 5 ways the word was formed by humans. The other one is the ripples behind a boat is the wake. It's the reverberations, the effects of a boat. So, the mother side of the wake is tackling a lot.
It is. It is, my God. Gerry, what causes matriarchy when it occurs?
What causes matriarchy is, I think, pretty simple, and it's the next question I'm anticipating because I have ESP. Because I shake my ESP ear.
Oh, man, you're literate.
The answer I get the most when you're asked, what's the most significant difference between women and men, is that women are emotional, intuitive, impulsive. They act from emotion more than thinking. Men are linear thinking. That's left and right hemisphere of the brain. They say left is linear, male, right is women, free to just be intuitive. And so they say if women are more emotional, they're getting it out of their system. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. They're talking to this, they're getting out. And then men hold their emotions in, and then that kills them because you got to get it out. Now, it works because men are linear. They sort of go, okay, we got to build the house this way, blah, blah, blah. No, we don't. We can just throw it over and do this, blah, 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 blah. No, you can't. You can't just throw it over there, blah, 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 blah. So matriarchy, the rule by women, was caused by genetics, by the makeup of a woman, just like patriarchy was caused by the makeup of a man. I'm stronger. I'm going to go move the boulder and catch the food. I'll bring it home and you cut it up and cook it. You have the baby. Well, who's stronger? The woman's got to push a baby, grow it in its body and push it out. The men just have to, take a few seconds to shoot some eggs into the woman, and then that's it. What else does he have to do? Bring home the bacon? I mean, he can go wander and do whatever he wants. The woman's got to grow the baby. So who's stronger? Well, you'd say men are stronger. What? So we define words. It's all about inventing words to define. So matriarchy was an invention by humans to say that women run the world, that are the rulers. And patriarchy was an invention by humans to have a word that say men run things.
Yes.
So it's both run equally, but we use
You really think that?
Well,
today?
Yes. Well, yes, we want that to be, that it's an equal keel, but there's things that shift it. Women are not paid as much as men. That's horrible. That should be rectified.
It's hard to believe that's still going on. I just can't believe it.
Hey, women couldn't vote for years in America.
Yeah.
So there's some horrible things, but I would say the bottom line is matriarchy is caused by humans inventing a word to define women rule, and it's really based in biological makeup of human beings. That's the main thing.
Right.
Yeah, but there's many factors, including what's the etymology of the word. Where did the word come from?
All right, I'm going to switch subjects a little bit.
Well, let's do this for a second there before.
Oh, yeah. Gonna keep your Imperial? Love that. I like it when men blow out their cheeks to shave. All kinds of men do that. It's fun.
Okay, let's get a shot where I'm going. Okay, onward.
All right, Gerald. What is the most important question in life?
I would say the one you just asked me. Life is all about questions. We think life's all about answers. It's about both, but it's really about asking new questions. So that's the Zen joke. Tell me, what is the most important question I can ask you, Guru? The one you just asked me. Or in the words of John Cage, you can't beat this. What's the most important question in life? That's a very good question. I wouldn't want to ruin it with an answer. But he does. You want to try to answer questions, and you can to a point, but you really want to not say that is the answer, period, boom.
Okay, besides that, what's the most important question in life?
I would say Jules Minton, one of my heroes, said, why am I here? Who am I? You know, that's
right.
Big questions like, what's going on?
Right.
What's up, homie?
Right, yeah.
You know,
hey, man.
Like, you know, it's
what's
like...
up, homie?
Yeah.
That's the most important question in life.
What's up, homie? I like that.
Okay, what's the most important activity in life?
I would say hugging. So hugging my wife, is the most important. I learned that from my mom. She says hugging is actually healthy. Actually, Ann Magnuson said it well too. What's your favorite form of information? Craig Baldwin reigned supreme on the answer.
What?
He said human touch.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we don't think of human touch as information. You shake
It is
someone's hand,
information.
that's information.
It's huge information.
You shake someone and it's wimpy, that's information. They just don't want. But she upped them by going, what's your favorite form of information? Ann Magnuson said, hugging.
Yeah.
Now, we don't think of hugging as information.
It is.
But, you know, I'm not always a good hugger, and there's some people I can hug better than others.
Some people are just made to hug.
But I end my interview series with the question, what gives you the most optimism? Most people say youth, young people. I say hugging my wife.
Oh.
There couldn't be anything more optimistic. Sharing a hug with someone
Especially
you
after
love.
such a long time, right? I mean,
any period of time.
Yeah,
it's just an amazing thing to hug someone sincerely.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get hugs sometimes and it'll be like, you know, pats, and it's hard to always hug with a lot of meaning.
Yeah. And when it's heterosexual hugging, you know, and there's a way that we hug each other as man and woman.
You got to be
friends.
careful. Yeah.
You have to do that pat thing where you don't press yourself too hard, and you know, like in a way I like to hug women better because I feel freer, like I'm not gonna you know, upset anybody's apple cart.
Yeah.
You know, or
That's like that woman.
And it's a shame because I love men, and I just as soon, you know, but I don't want to upset apple carts.
You know the funny story. I had a woman living here, and I gave her a hug goodbye in the morning. She left, and we weren't having an affair of any sort. And I pushed my pelvis into her. She goes, in the middle of the hug, she goes, "Don't push your pelvis into me." Because if you hug a woman and it's not your partner, and you push down there, that's like an insinuation.
It is. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
And you really just as soon hug the whole body, but then it's a shame. Okay, now, what was the most, let's get back to Dolores and
Okay, let's
mother's
see if
side.
you can-
Okay. How do you like your new shaver? You think it's better than your old shaver?
Really good.
Yeah, smooth out the side of your face. I like your expressions.
Okay, go ahead. Now I go like this.
How'd you do it?
Okay.
You have a buzz.
Another buzz? Okay, good. I know what to do.
It started up when you...
No buzz?
No buzz.
That's it. We know how to fix it fast.
Okay.
Woo, 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 woo. Okay.
Oh my God, you're so Fialka.
Woo, woo,
Whoa, look at that. Oh, look at the camera. Ooh. Actually, that's trippy. Do that again. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, here we go. Question. Recall a fairy tale or a lullaby, a song that your mother shared with you. Let's talk about being a baby, not just older.
Can't think of them. What? You are my sunshine, my only sunshine.
You think she sang that to you
Oh
when you were
yeah,
a baby?
and there was many that I don't have recall. There's other family members who could tell us exactly, but Christmas carols and singing around the house, and you know, a song we sang together when we went on a family vacation.
Right.
Do you know the way to San Jose? Do, do,
The whole
do,
family
do,
would sing
do,
it.
Do, 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 you know. But Every Little Breeze Whispers, Louise, is one that I'll never forget, because at the end of my life with my mom, we sang it a lot or shared it, and then I ended up playing it in my guitar solos a lot.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And in piano solos, yeah.
Oh, gee, I should know. I think I've heard you do it.
And I think I have this recording of her singing it in one of my films where I 4-tracked her. I had her sing it 4 times. And it's just amazing how it sounds like harmonies. You know, superimposed over.
Oh, yeah.
It's like 4 Doloreses.
Yes, I've seen. That's great. I've seen that. How about like a story she told you? Did she ever a special?
Again, I can't
little tale?
recall one right now, but I will think about that.
Okay. Let's see. If as an uncle, how do you feel that you've how do you feel take on the role as an uncle of an uncle?
Yeah, you're saying the question is what kind of impact did acting as a surrogate mom to a relative or a friend's child have on you?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it came later in my life when I really started to have these interns, younger, mainly males, there's a few females, who are young and are appreciating what I can offer to them, and I learn from them, so it's a reciprocal thing. So it's like how teachers teach so they can learn. But that's not what your role is defined. You're teaching to imbue shared knowledge to other people. And I've found that that is immense. It goes back to that, what gives you the most optimism? The youth or younger people, they have that inquiry spirit, like Albert Einstein said, ask a question a child would ask. Like my favorite TV commercial, Dad, where does bologna come from?
I want to ask you, how about specifically your nephew Micah? What?
That's an easy one.
Is that
Micah
like
has
to be
emotional or some sort of disability, learning disability or intellectual disability, and I don't think emotional, because that's just what he is. He likes everybody, and if you're walking down the street and a wino's puking, he'll go, hi. You know, he was open to loving and strip down and not hold a grudge against anybody.
But how about being his uncle? How do you
that's
feel
what I
that
learned
you are?
from him.
Yes,
well, I try to teach
feel...
him to be an independent thinker and not let people tell you how to think. So, social norms tell us how to act and think. We sort of follow those. Polite. He's the most polite of all our relatives.
Would you say to Micah, think independently, Micah?
Well, not specifically, but I would tell him about specific situations. I'd give him another alternative than what everybody else was telling him. So,
can you give me an example?
Well, sure. When he was suing the college for not letting him be in a dorm because he was disabled. Well, we can't have disabled kids having a room in the dorm. Why not? He's capable of running it fine. Oh, no, it might be too risky. So then he took it to law. So I says, no, you should do a performance art piece and camp in a big orange tent in the middle of campus and say, they won't let me, look I can camp here. And then they'd go, oh, you can't camp here either. And then it would make a big issue. Rather than doing the court systems and paying lawyers, involving lawsuits, you're in doing it through art. Now, would it have been as effective? Probably not, but who knows?
Did those lawyers, did someone else end up paying the lawyers?
Whatever, I don't know all the details. Right. But there's other... The art of persuasion by humans is a big thing. You can approach it many ways. The art of persuasion is huge. People go, well, I tried to convince them. I already tried that. Well, want to try again? No, they're not going to be convinced. Well, maybe you could work a strategy that could convince them. There's no more strategies. They're not going to budge.
Mm.
Oh, well, there's 1,000,001 strategies humans can come up with. But when someone's holding their ground, you think, oh, I'm not going to change them.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, I know what you're saying, Gerry, because I've heard that before. That's interesting. Okay, Alice Walker says, "Yes, Mother, I can see you're flawed. You have not hidden it. That is your greatest gift to me."
That is the greatest gift anyone can give to anyone else, is say, lay your cards on the table. I'm flawed. I messed up. I made a mistake. And I'm not going to make an excuse. I'm not going to put a but. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. So that's the key. You just lay your cards on the table. Now, personally, you can go, but they did this, and that. You don't verbalize that. You don't write it out in a letter or an email. Acknowledge the other human and acknowledge that you made a mistake or you have a flaw, and I'm sorry, and please forgive and move on. You can't get better than Mark Twain saying.
Honestly, that is true, Gerry.
Yeah. Forgiveness is the scent of the lilac and the lavender when the foot smushes it. That's it. It's a flower.
It's a beautiful smell.
It's a view. You forgive, you move on, and you don't linger, because whatever you want to hold a grudge, it's your burden. You're self-imposed that burden. Grudges are self-imposed burdens. Don't hold a grudge. Let it go. Time heals wounds, and wounds heal time.
Do you feel your mother inside you as you go about your day?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel both my mom and
Do you
my
feel
dad.
her spirit?
Oh, yeah.
And
I'll see. You know, the main one is, I'll tell you the main one. Look at the clouds. Do you see that rabbit head in the clouds? My parents would be in awe. They had wonder and awe. Now, who needs an art museum? Who needs artists? You could just look at the clouds and go, wow, that looks like a squirrel's tail.
Yeah, or you know, wood. You know,
Woodman.
Yeah.
I stared at the wood in my bedroom for years and saw all
faces and
then eventually when I did alter my brain a little with some substance, it was just like, whoa, you could stare at wood. I goes, I've already been there, done that without any substance. I could do that by just looking at the patterns of wood. So
yeah. Well, to conclude, Gerry.
Well, let's shave a little here.
That's something you really know how to do, isn't it? You know how to shave. You've done it all your life. Your adult life. So nice to see that skin. You know what? Your coloring underneath is nice and warm and tan. It's not white and pasty. You know? I just think that's your coloring.
Okay. We'll get some more.
All right. So I guess just in conclusion, what is the final thing you would like to say about being your mother's son, and about Dolores?
Well, I think it's innate in all mothers, and it's learned in all mothers, that this is you carrying your consciousness, your heart, mind, and soul and body on. That there is nothing that really dies, that everything reverberates. So that's really the mother side of the wake, is the reverberation of the heart, mind, and soul. And every object that we invent, we take a tree and turn it into a spoon. Everything is it's all rebirth. So it's the theme of the movie, The Mother Side of the Wake, is that the wake is Finnegan's Wake, which was You fall and you get back up. You fall and get back up.
Right.
That's rebirth. That's called phoenixology.
Yes.
The bird crushes and dies and flops down, and then out of the ashes comes another bird or the same bird. You know, Paul Krasner's joke is really well put. I only believe in reincarnation in one of my past lives. So it's a constant rebirthing, and that's what the mother side. So when you say side, right away you're distinguishing. We're all mothers. We all have mothers in us, but we're going to say, oh, the brother side of the wake, the mother side of the wake, the sister side of the wake, and the father side of the wake.
It's a point of view, is what it is.
Side is point of view. And we had no point of view before printed word. Everything was just, whoa. So
I don't know about that. But I want to ask you one last question, last question. A statement. Describe your mother.
My mom is gorgeous, like you describing your mother as Elizabeth Taylor. We look to our mothers as this like gorgeous beauty, and we're little kids and we're so like proud that that's my mother. And I have 8 hours of Super 8mm film, and every once in a while you'll see a clip of my mom and she'll go, don't shoot me now. You know, she's too conscious, and sometimes she's proud, but often she's conscious of her looks and doesn't want the camera on her.
What movie star do you think she looks like?
Well, I don't have a thing like
I think
that.
she looks like Shelley Winters.
Shelley Winters could be, but there, you know, I don't have that. I just know the picture we have on our website for the mother side of the wake now is her wedding picture.
Yeah.
And it's
beautiful.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
So
I wore that dress.
Yeah, and you wore that dress. And did you see it in the brother side of the wake?
Yes, I
did. You see that
did.
dress? Wasn't that touching?
I saw it.
And it's like right where Al kisses Dee. It's an amazing little shot. And so I just look up to her no matter what.
Now, that's how she looks. But tell me about her personality.
Her personality was she wanted to hug and have fun and laugh and sing, you know. I mean, the funniest is I have an audio tape of us singing an old song together. And then in between, you can hear on the audio tapes where each of us is farting.
Ah!
No, it is hilarious.
No! Did you guys have beans for lunch or something?
Whatever. But it's so funny because she loved what I learned from Timothy Carey is live long, live healthy, or let the arse make win.
Yeah.
Meaning don't be afraid. This is a body function.
It is. Everybody farts 17 times a day.
Right.
At least.
And so she taught me, probably the most important thing my mom taught me is it's okay to cry. It's great to hug. It's great to laugh. It's great to sing. It's great to look at the clouds and see art in the clouds. But what is really most important is that when you cry, emotionally you're getting something out of your system, and physically, biologically, you're getting toxins out of your system. The tears contain. So when you pee, you're getting bad out of you. Or you're getting something out of your body. When you poop, you're getting something out of you. When you cry, you're getting something out of you.
I'm looking at I want to look at your eyes. Look, oh, there they are. The whites of your eyes. Gerry, isn't there anything negative about your mom?
Well, yeah, everybody has, I don't call negative. I says everyone has strengths and weaknesses.
Well, Gerry,
it's how you cope with both.
What weaknesses did your mother have?
Well, she worried too much. That's evident.
Right.
You know, come on. And so people go, well, worry hurts you. No, it doesn't. It's how you balance it. So she was raised at 8 with no dad. Suzy,
Let's look at the side of your face now.
The same age you lost your dad, sort of.
Now the other side.
Suzy, do you know this?
Whoa, sexy. Ah.
Suzy, you know this. Look at Suzy, you know this. The same age. Suzy.
Yeah.
Listen, look at me. the same age your dad sort of left your family was the same age my mom's dad died. So she took over as the male in the family, and she helped my grandmother, who was making 25 cents an hour at, you know, a car factory in Flint, Michigan. 25.
Wait, I thought they made a lot more. Is that because they were underpaid women?
25 cents an hour she made, and she had to raise many kids, and so my mom was the dad, and so, you know, my two aunts who are still living, Joanne and Marianne, said, well, your mom says don't smoke cigarettes. You know, so they were like, get away from me, I'm a kid, you're a kid too, let us do what we want.
Right.
What are you, trying to be my dad?
Yes. Trying to be, yes, exactly.
So is that concern? Yes.
Yes.
Is it worry? Yes.
Is that where she got it? Maybe.
It was laid on her lap. You know, you're a control freak. Well, no, I'm a concern freak. You know?
Any final words you want to say to the universe, Gerald?
Suzy, I love you. And I want to hug you. Oh, so we'll just have to put that camera down and hug each other.
No, okay. Wait, one more.
Do this. Got it framed good?